can do more coaching.
I do coke so I can work longer, so I can earn more, so I can do more coke.
I do coke so I can work longer, so I can earn more, so I can do more coke.
Of what I'm saying, what happened in Minneapolis. A man murdered a man. Oh, but he the cop throwing it. Guys, a man murdered a man. That's how the law really works. And there's only one judge, and it's God. And then you have federal judges, and they're mandated from God, and they have to follow certain rules. And then you have all these private court. The reason that you can actually look into this is because the feds don't want to lose their power to a company, a corporation that's running around giving everybody tickets for how many shingles they have on their shed. That isn't law, guys. And when it gets to a point where you're like, I don't care the repercussions. Nobody's putting a mask on my son. The murderer was just arrested. Right, that's all it is. And so everybody's like, oh, the whites and the cops and the blacks and but now the Vietnamese coming in and well, there's Sandy Hook and that. Guys, a man murdered a man. And the commerce law can work in your benefit. I'm not trying to overthrow commerce law. I'm not trying to overthrow common law. None of it. I don't care. I'm letting you know how this all works as someone who's currently suing a dead entity called Patreon Corp. They can't put a mask on your kid. They can't tell you not to do business. In fact, Trump just signed an executive order about Twitter. You want to see how we take back ground? This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay, so we just started another Twitter account, @OwenBenjaminRep. So follow that at Twitter, @OwenBenjaminRep. This account's sole purpose is to promote and update services about and related to comedy tours, merchandise, live streams, and unauthorized TV media of and for Owen Benjamin and or related parties. Attempts to interfere with these now protected activities will be met with legal action. Trump just signed an executive order that they can't affect commerce. Social media can't affect commerce. So we're taking advantage of that immediately. Oh, but aren't you mad at Twitter? Twitter doesn't exist. Twitter is a walking zombie going, It is what it is. It's all, guys, it's all laws, statutes, rules, leverage. And the best thing, don't think like, oh, I really hope the judge believes in me. You have to appeal to the judge's authority. The judge ain't your enemy, dude. The cop isn't even your enemy. None of these people are your enemies. It's just a system of people trying to get through the world, just like everything else. So it's like the police are men that you bowl with, and they're cool dudes. One man killed another man. His job title was police. Another man was killed. He had darker skin. Could have had lighter skin. Doesn't matter. Fuck Twitter, get unauthorized.tv. Right, but this is to promote. It's a bigger audience, KO Bear. It's taking back ground. It's taking back ground in the culture war. Yeah, of course, get unauthorized.tv. And by the way, all the bugs just got worked out. I just talked to Vox this morning. All the 501 or 503 error pages and all that. We're working through all of it. Just hired our own programmer. Everything's going awesome. Yeah, follow Owen Benjamin Rep because it's not, guys. It's not about oh, fuck Twitter. They hurt your feelings. It's like, no, we're here to win. We're not here to have hurt feelings and stuff. It's like, no, we want to regain our presence on Twitter. And Trump finally did what we all wanted him to do for years. Sign an executive order protecting the rights of people that aren't extreme communist sodomites on the new social media. I'm not backing down. If we can take back Twitter, great. If we can now sue them, which, by the way, guys, it's so effective, it's insane. If we now have a grounds to sue them on if they interrupt with commerce, great. They will back the fuck down. They're all cowards. You think I got shot adrenals? These people are shot. Man killing another man instantly drops the curtain. Dude, a man killed another man. Yeah, but he was wearing a hat, and his friends were white, and a man killed a man. His motivations you can't possibly know. And the fact one man did something has nothing to do with me, my children, or my friends. That's it. You want to take a walk in my world? You want to see why I can predict things years ahead, months ahead, very specific things that can help people? Because you have to dial it down. Like, Trump is not your enemy and he's not your buddy. He is working in a system. And the more you push him to help us, the better. Say, Trump, you don't got my support, Trump. Not until you sign executive order, Trump. The riots did end the lockdown. There was never a lockdown. The lockdown was in your mind. The governor has no authority, no legal authority. Guys, I don't even think the governors know this. There's a few people that have pursued this to the end, and it works. Because you're not like an outsider being like, you know, the sovereign citizen movement is different. A lot of times that's about, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to put down a group of people. I'm trying to separate myself. I'm not going to do what people do. Okay. I don't care about taxes. I don't care about, like, most of the shit that those guys care about. I care about not being told I have to wear a goddamn mask as a criminal or a pervert. So I've looked into some of these things, and it's surprising and jarring how little power they have. All right. The Bike Geek 5 worker said during the Zimmerman case a man killed a kid, and that made me think hard. Right. I think that was the purpose of this, or whatever level this stuff had tons of net positive. Right. Owen's right. Numerous governors were sued and lost. Dude, it happens all the time. All the time. And the reason you don't know about it is because they have to sign privacy agreements. It's like, just don't say anything and we'll leave you alone. Dude, housing assessments. Dude, everything requires a witness. Who's the witness? Oh, we don't have any witnesses. Why? Because you can sue the witness. There's liability. It's all about liability, guys. That's the whole thing. Liability. The powers of the people. The powers with God. And I don't want to get all preachy again, but it is. All right, let's get funny again. All right, so this is a hilarious journalist. Robert Kraft sees happy ending for the NFL. Hilarious. Because as we all know, Robert Kraft is a Jewish gentleman who was caught getting a hand job from, I believe, a 15-year-old, maybe older, I don't know, from a prostitute on camera. Yeah, that's hilarious. Well done, Baltimore Sun. Well done indeed. Yes. Here's a guy with blown adrenals trying to get healthy, right? That was funny, right? We're all laughing together, right? It's great. We're all just having a good time like a normal day. I'll get healthier. There's a toothless mouth. Yeah. That was humor. So anyway. All right, Chris Farley was a major cuck. I don't know. The actor? I don't know what that means. Because I think one of the things about the stream that helps people is the humor. And so I'm not just going to rant. I shouldn't have ranted so much. No, I don't regret it. But the churchian thing, I got to let go. It was because I wanted their support. I wanted the church's love and warmth when these things were happening. And when they closed all their doors, I took it personal. I opened up my endocrine system and I raged. And there's a place for that, but, you know, I want to get rid of my belly. All right. So, but here's the thing, though, guys. Racial tensions are real, and racial tensions have hit Ursa Manor pretty hard. Here we go.
Hi, Stella. Hey, chickens, do you see the new alpaca? Mr. French? Hi, look, it's a family of whites. That's gorgeous. Beautiful white. Look what we got over here. We got a brown and a black. Look at these gorgeous whites. Isn't that right, Mr. French? Look, there's some multiculturalism happening over here. Brown chickens, some white chickens. Obviously, the big white chickens providing a lot more meat. Brown chickens are usually just trying to riot and loot. Here you have a nice white family. Over here you have a nice white family. Look at just how stable this family is. This whole nuclear family here. And over here, you got a brown guy and a black guy. What are they up to? Stealing my bike Onyx? You stealing my bike Onyx? Just nose deep in some Ponderosa. Get the Sizzler? Hey, look, it's a nice white family. Oh, it's just gorgeous to see. Hey, look, it's Minneapolis over here. So we got a bunch of big, white, meaty birds. It's really providing, you know, and then you got a bunch of brown birds ready to burn down AutoZone. Hey, Mr. French. Ooh la la, says Mr. French.
Someone just said something hilarious. Newsflash, Owen's belly causes church reformation. That's so funny. It's all good. And one of the things that I have going for me and against me is like, I have such a beautiful and wonderful woman that just is always going to be into me. So I gotta be like, because back in the day when I was still courting Amy, I used to be like, yeah, check out my sweet ass. She'd be like, ooh la la. And now she's like, it doesn't matter how you are, dude. You crush. I'm yours. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, I'm going to open up my aperture and just get real fired up about the fact nuclear bombs aren't real for about 3 hours until I fucking gain 50 pounds. Ooh la la, I still think you're beautiful, big bear. I'm like, all right, I got to do it. I got to do it for you. I got to do it for me. I wonder what alpaca milk tastes like. You would think about that, wouldn't you, you sick bastard? New York Times recently called Joe the Tell the king of podcasts. Oh, yeah. Impression of a foot. That's hilarious. You ever done a juice fast? Yes. Ripped abs are part of the psyop. I like it, Electrician Bear. That's what we're talking about here. That's what I'm into. And the thing is, I'm never going to be, like, ripped. I don't care about that. I just don't want to hurt my organs. And I'm only sharing it because I think it's going to help people. I swear to God, and people know that about me. I outed Pastor Bear. You know Pastor Bear didn't even have a church to close? Yeah. Righteous indignation is pretty good sometimes. Okay, you want to see a section of the documentary that didn't make it? It is in Idaho. And I know I look fat. I get it. Not as fat. I'm not as fat now as I was then. But it's a sign of weakness. I can see the sleepless nights. I can see when you know yourself, you can see the stress of it. You're like, Jesus. You guys want to see that? Being named the king of anything never ends well. I don't know. I'm the king of Ursa Manor. All right, here we go. This is funny stuff, though. Enjoy this. You were a tub in the documentary. I know, Mom Bear. I know. I'm still a bit of a tub. We're working on it, aren't we, Mom Bear?
I'm serious. You guys are looking at me like, oh no. I'm telling you, the Californians are going to come up when everything, the wall should be up here. Keep them out. And they know about Idaho, man. They're going to try to come up. So, what's that? But you gotta be like, get out of here. Here's a phrase that has to come back. We don't take kindly to your kind around here. Bring it back! Or else it's just everybody's downward dogging, and before you know it, Anderson Cooper's up here. It's just... I lived through it. I saw the signs. You know how to get these things to stop beeping? I heard it beep again. What do you mean?
There might be a battery inside of the...
Sorry about that. Where? Yeah, I already took it out. You hear that? I swear, I think it's this.
Then why isn't this? Unless there's an extra battery up in there.
I seriously think that's it.
You guys remember that? The doctors.
I think it's done beeping. I think we're good.
Pretty funny, Todd. Well done. That's the most annoying thing ever. I know, it's just like... When I was at a friend's house, well, one of Ryan's relatives, so in a hotel it would have been a hammer. It was just kind of like, yeah, fuck you. How many bears does it take to find a smoke detector? One, Mountain Bear. You're a tubby bear, aren't you, Mountain Bear? You big fat fuck. What's all those ceilings? Dude, I don't know. Everything's visible to me. I discovered the firmament by raising my hand in the air. Spoiler alert, we will eventually find it, but it's at the end of the episode. So you just ruined it, Jonathan. Alright, any final thoughts and questions? Oh, I didn't even play the MSN thing yet. That's okay with big fat Mountain Bear. Mountain Bear's a big fat fuck. Watch the Vegas life. That's okay with Mountain Bear and his big fat ass.
You can see, here, just around. Nobody's wearing them. Nobody's, there you go. Look at the camera. Yeah. Okay. Striking images, Cal Perry.
You guys see how funny that was? Mountain Bear's laughing his fat ass off right now. Alright, watch this one more time.
You can see, here, just around. Nobody's wearing them. Nobody's, there you go. Look at the camera. Yeah. Okay. Striking images, Cal Perry.
You understand how funny that is? So that's why they need to spark the racial conflicts in Retardville in Minneapolis. It's like people are not buying it anymore. But see, now it's like, oh, now we're not buying it. Where the hell were people three months ago? Damn, gotta go. Much love, everyone. Hey there. Someone's laughing about it. He did it. Right? I am a child. Right? I have a born endocrine system. For Mountain Bear, it's just because he eats a lot of dicks. It's because he's eating dicks. That's why the Mountain Bear's so fat. It's like, so this guy is we know this about the media. I can't relive it every day, but that's really funny. It's worse acting than, yeah, but there's a long version where he's like, people are not concerned with their safety, everybody's, and the guy's just like, your cameraman doesn't have a mask on. The camera guy's probably like, camera guys hate those little homos they have to film all day. They loathe them. Dicks are loaded with calories. Yeah, ask Mountain Bear about that. That's why he's a mountain bear. He's a mountain of dicks. All right. I thought that was pretty funny though, that little clip. Anybody have any questions or comments before I go? Even cops on cop websites are questioning whether Minnesota's a psyop. Something is felt off about it. It doesn't even matter. The psyop is if you care about any of it. A man killed a man. What have I done? No, I'm all right. I was just kidding. I am a big fat fuck. If anybody knows me by now, I usually just then immediately call someone else in. Eyeglasses on an hour and a half. Thank you so much for everything you put out on screen. Broke back Mama. Now we don't need to make fun of Mom Bear now. I was just joking. I was trying to make him laugh because he called me a big old tub. Big old tub. How much money should I have make before impregnating my best girl? Doesn't matter. You should only have one girl. What do you mean best girl? What, are you not married? Are you a bike thief? Oh, and how do you get through the we are concerned for you stage, going through it now, and you did it 2 years ago? I moved to the country and started a farm. BB, where can we find out about flow state? I don't know. I'm still working on it. It's in the, you know it in your heart. BB's nightmare would be a 13 personal trainer dressed as a spider. Literally. I can take it. I'm a thick-skinned cunt. I know you can, Mom Bear. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't think you could take it. People that can make comedy like yours actually probably enjoy being called names and feel slight catharsis from it, like myself. Like, someone I know and like Mountain Bear, if he calls me a big fuck, I actually like it. It makes me feel less, something. What's that, buddy? Oh, cool, pal. Alright, any other questions before I go? Just found out my wife's gonna have nice. Thank you, BB, for everything you do. Appreciate all the gravy and look forward to you coming to deliver the gravy. Take care. Yeah, you as well. That level of brutality is normal if you work with men. Exactly. But I just have to know that. If it's a complete stranger and they're like, you're a bad bitch, I'm like, who the fuck are you? I think that's like the main problem with the internet. Is I think people get to know me and I don't get to know them. So then they think I'm the one being the dick. But they're like, dude, I just talk with shit, man. I'm a subscriber to Authorized. I listen to you every day. I'm like, I've never heard you. I don't know who you are. If you know who I am, if I know who you are, we can talk shit all day. It's hilarious. BB, what is a good age to get married for a girl? Close to puberty. What's the new Twitter again? Free question, God bless. Thanks for Dirk from New York. We appreciate you, BB, and the Bears rock. Thank you. Yeah, the Bears do rock. I'm glad you're all here. I'll give it another 10 minutes. Because I'm not going to do a stream tonight. I'm going to really focus on my floor state. You think we can class action Twitter and YouTube now for banning us? What do you mean us? Oh, I get what you're saying. Like, do everybody? Yeah. I don't know. Dude, it's wicked intense. But maybe, yes. They do it again. I like it, Honko Bear. I like where your head's at. I thought you were like, dude, they kicked me out for fucking team. It's like, no. We need a real narrative. I'm sorry, I was being a dick. We need to really have like a loss, which we've had. It's true. If I was in person, it'd be much worse. As would you? I'd say, haha. Yes. I am a big old fat fuck. Right. Your mouth is I've been watching for years. Owen called my dad a fag and my mom a whore on separate occasions. Never hit my last hour. Right. Release. Wait a minute. I gotta open some mail. I didn't want to be called a whore. Maybe she stop a second. You think the Irish box would join the stream with you sometime? That would be crushing, man. Oh, that guy's awesome. I'd be like, you're great, dude. Tyson Fury? I don't know. Oh, so here's a joke I tried on some of my friends today. James True actually came up with it. And a lot of people didn't get it. So I was texting a bunch of my buddies. I just go, how can America be seen as racist when we put two black guys in the White House? And everyone's like, who, like Bill Clinton? I'm like, no, Michelle Obama's a dude. I'd say more than 50% didn't understand the joke, and so that means it's my fault. Like, I didn't say it properly. 3D puzzle. Awesome, thank you. But so many of my friends didn't understand it at all. Like, they were just like, hang on, I didn't get it. I thought you meant Trump was black. No. So then, I think the way to do it is say, FLOTUS and POTUS. I don't know. You either get it or you don't get that one. I immediately laughed. James Drew texted me that. He's like, how could America be racist when we put two dudes in the White House? And I immediately was like, ha 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 ha. And dude, like, a lot of my friends that are woke to Michelle's dick, even some that weren't, I'm like, how is that not obvious what I meant? Like, Michelle Obama's a big black dude. Maybe they didn't think Barack was man enough. I don't know. And then my brother texted me a funny joke. Let me show it to you right now. I have to do. Hang on. Okay, here we go. This is a written one. What's the difference between a plumber and how can you tell the difference between a plumber and a chemist? How they pronounce that word? Is that pretty funny? You guys get it? Unionized versus unionized. One of my favorite joke mechanisms is say a really, like, a relatively funny but like total pun or real clean joke, and then when no one laughs, get real self-hating. You know? Just be like, oh Jesus, it's happening again. How do you tell the difference between a plumber and a chemist? How they pronounce that word? Everyone's like, unionized? No, also unionized. They're like, no, it's deionized. Oh, not again. Alright, okay. It's always be a fat fuck. I'll always be a fat fuck. No, we gotta change our mentality, guys. I've been a real in shape fuck most of my life. And I've also been a fat fuck. It really is like flow state. It's stress, it's adrenals, it's all that shit. So, this is a hard time to stay in shit. It is, dude. I'm not making excuses, but everybody's putting on that COVID-19. And like when I shot that dog, I had been in quarantine for a few years. It's my bar bitch again, outdated. Maybe also update your gut flora. I don't know what that means, Darwin Joe. My gut flora is pretty good, thank you very much. But no, I'll take the gravy. Gravy in small doses about this, I'm all about it. But when people are just like, you need to eat less and run more. Mass raised my adrenals. Yeah. I've gained 25 pounds in the last 3 years, right? We gotta get past it. Dude, tons of my friends that are in really good shape are facing the same fucking thing. Where they're just like, because I'm healthy as shit right now. I'm not making excuses, I really am. Every energy level, skin, I believe my organs, except for my stress test. DB, apparently camel milk is good for your gut. Goat milk's the best milk for your gut. I've been getting stronger and learner since quarantine began. Nice. Good for you, Kodiak there. Stop being so fat. Okay, Fracture Bear. You're not Mount Bear. I don't know you well. How does a bear catch a fish without a pole? They use their bare hands. Nice, Malacca Bear. What do you call a black priest? Holy shit. Good one, John Denver Bear. No, we're gonna crack the obesity code. Because this is how it is for me. This isn't a self-centered episode, exercise. It's like, well, I really need to work on my biceps. We're trying to crack a code here. This is some high-level shit, if you're not a retard. I don't have fat. It's just my belly region, and it's not fat. So how do we crack this code? Let's talk. Because I know I'm not the only one. This is the main thing in America right now, and I believe it isn't. Diet is part of it. The toxins in diet will shock the system, but my diet is fucking perfect, guys. Perfect. It's stress. I've been working out like crazy, alchemized baby food. Obesity may be from eating alchemized baby food. No. I eat food from my own land. Blame small intestines? No. I take iodine. Soda gives you belly fat. I don't drink soda. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't eaten bread in over a week now. Dude, it's not that. Mouse metabolism source from excess from omega-3. I'm trying meditation and it's hard. How do you spot a bear? Breed it with a Dalmatian. Ha! Nice! And weight is hormones and stress. Yep, totally. But how do we put that into reality? I think it's inflammation and water retention. 100%, that's what it is. Manifestation of the 40 that exists in your mind? Maybe. Stress produces cortisol, that's what makes your belly fat. Right. So you drink coffee? Makes you fat. It's stress. Excess stress will pack weight around your gut. Right, that's why it appears so weak. That's why I want to mock fat people so much. But I guess that causes more stress and makes it worse. Hey Richie from Boston, I get it, man. We're all a little fat. How many hours are you fasting per day? That's not what we're talking about. I appreciate the contribution, but we're talking more big picture stuff. It's about stress. Have you looked into no. You're reforming energy for the next 80 years of your life. Yep. Spare tire fat is for the production of testosterone. I still get bonus. I sleep fine. I drink too much coffee and not enough water. Nah, that could be it. Damn it. Calories in versus calories out. Nope. It's not it at all. The body reads the stress and stores fat because it assumes you are facing a crisis. Right? Exactly. I got the marriage 50 before I got the COVID-19. Nice, Westside Bear. Is it just me or does time go slow when you fast? Rim shot. Oh, Jesus. Time from Bear's just a fat tub of shit. Kyneton has to work on how much do you sleep? I'd like to know. I thought you never asked. That's a really funny answer to make people feel really uncomfortable sometimes. Is like, if you're like charging something to your room in like a hotel, and someone's like, oh, what room are you in? Just go, I thought you never asked. It's funny and a little creepy, but mostly just funny. Especially if it's like just a random like dude. How many bears giving advice are still fat or unfit? It doesn't matter. We're all just giving each other advice. We're not gonna spiral right now. So what room are you in? Oh, I thought you never asked. How many hours of sleep do you get a night? I thought you never asked. Little bear, not like that, BB. I know. I get it. No, body fat by being in the flow state, dancing around the house loses more weight because you are being carefree versus a Zumba class with Gary. Yes, exactly. Clean Kyneton, just a pair of large Florida trash peas in a pod. Yeah, you two are just like jelly bellies. Disgusting. You know I'm joking, boys. You store your bike on the front. Oh, Jesus, we got a black guy. I store my bike in the... No, I don't have a bike. All milk is designed to make babies grow and put on weight quickly. Cut back on milk unless cream. That's good advice. I probably drink too much milk. My goat milk brings all the boys to the yard. Damn right. It's better than yours. Damn right. Dolly and James Johnson. I feel like today's been a good stream. A lot of laughs. I lost all my body fat going full carnivore for 8 months. Now I'm reintroducing other foods. Good for you. That sounds good. Dude, goat milk? I replace booze with goat milk, man. Goat yogurt's awesome. I know, it's really healthy. The only thing I could think of last night was watching Minnesota bike fever. Dude, bike thefts on the rise. I haven't watched any coverage of anything that has to do with Minneapolis. I think it's all so stupid. That's nice shot was great, yeah, I swear. Muscle mass burns all the excess. Okay, no, I get it. You're like level 3 trainer. Because you're right. You know, a lot of people think when they lift heavy weights, they're just going to get too bulky. It's the opposite. Heavy weights will jack your metabolism. We're way past that. We're talking about the spiritual and emotional and endocrine element of obesity, which is what most people, it's not genetics, it's just. That's me 5 years ago. And it's not gay to show you that. It's because I'm going to end that discussion. People are like, dude, it's just genetics. Oh no, it's because it's this. Shut the fuck up. Alright, I'm doing it again. You look like bucket of lard in a hot day. Quote from Norm Macdonald's movie Diary Work. Dirty Work. Have you narrated any guided meditations? No. I'm not gay. Tore up from Tore Up. Cod is the king of... Right. This is me 5 years ago. No homo. No homo. Being serious. Being at peace matters. Look how good JLP looks at 70s. Yeah, he's also black. Maybe psychosomatically you feel pregnant too. Yeah. I don't want to blame it on him. But I've been around a pregnant woman and snacking children for 5 fucking years. And I think also just I worry about my kids a lot. Dr. Ray Pear crushes the genetic. Yeah. JLP looks great for his age because he's fucking black. And if a black doesn't end up dead or in prison, they look pretty good because they're black. They look like shadows. You ever see a shadow age? No, you don't, because they're black. Like, look at your shadow. You know, you look in the mirror and you're like, wow, look how old is that? And then you look in the shadow, and then you look at your shadow. And you're like, yeah, same fucking shadow. Yeah, I've been around. But I can't blame her. I gotta blame only myself. Blacks are amazing. No. Go to Minneapolis and see if you still believe that. Shadow age. Yeah, your shadows don't age. I've been gaining like 10 pounds a year, but 90% isn't fat. I'm just heavy as heck. Baltimore beat me too. When I was doing empathy for my wife, then she gave birth and I took another. Here, boy. That's why I love it, dude. I love it. Shadows don't age. They don't age. I want retarded looking blonde. Good for you. I just want to live a long time. I want to see my great grandchildren like a fucking boss. Alright. This is a fun chat. I'm really enjoying it. You're skinny in Mississippi standards? Thank you so much. I just can't swim because more dense bones and muscles. Well, it's because when they're still gripping the bike they just stole, they just think like that rock. Cheers to that. Yeah, you're not fat. Your shadow is fat. You scientifically, man. It could be scientifically proven anything you want to see from it. Exactly. The shadows are really fat. That's unskinny pop with the psyop. Yeah. You're powerlifting so much gravy. Yes. I powerlift gravy. I've never had stronger hands or more low-level endurance. Dude, I think a lot of farmers get fat. You think it's because you're always doing shit, but it's such low Like you're not like crushing, you're just like moving stuff around a lot. You're not fat, your shadow's fat. That's pretty fun. Yeah, you should try leftist fitness. The men that wine to live a long life. There's no too much of anything is poison. Keep crushing and pressing the limits, measuring food, definitely. Should I buy shares of VR of gravy? Yeah, gravy's exporting. Farmer's Belly, yes, muscle memory BB, you're right. I can't see my shadow's belly button. Because, right, because it's black color in there. Black people don't have mothers. Crushing makes me fat. Yeah. Kickboxing helps. Again, I'm not in the side. I need to thank you. I'm not fat, my shadow is 1 GN being destroyed. Farmer fat is for leverage and lifting. Yes. I know moms. Yeah, they don't have moms. I think they're made out of their dads. Like, yeah, okay. Farmers can lift huge. Dude, what's going on? Just, I'm laughing so hard. No belly button. Yeah, they don't have belly buttons. Farms get fat from stressing about their yield. Yes, dude! And death of animals, like babies. It really is. It's like that I gotta just become way more carefree. Should I just start smoking weed? No, that wouldn't be very responsible. Fuck. Do you think that's dude? I'm just saying what I think. I'm not. Maybe it's not responsible what I'm about to say, but do you think I gained weight because alcohol used to lower my stress? No, I'm not taking that. You need the farmhand. No, I don't, guys and Barry. You need to shut your mouth. No, I'm not just letting a random black guy run around the fucking farm. No, why not white people? White people don't do farm labor anymore. They're just fucking bitch and sport and both confused. Microdose cannabis. Dude, I'm open to it. Yes, grief added to stress. I heard dumpster pumping. Oh, Jesus, Spectre Bear. It's more than stress, BB. Many people skinny who are stressed out beyond measure. Okay, I'm listening. Cocoa leaves now. Yeah, cocoa leaves. I'll be a farmhand. See what you just did, Kyneton Bear? I'm now going to get like 500 fucking emails. Now when I don't respond, everyone takes it as a rejection of them. Ugh. It's like, you didn't, I offer my services, and I fucking send you $20 in a P.O. box, and I'm a subscriber, and you didn't even have the courtesy of writing me back because I'd be your farmhand? I'm like, dude, I can't possibly keep up with all of it. Now I'm mad at you, though, so I'm going to start a fucking whole page dedicated to ruining your life. And my gut just goes, boom, boom, boom. Maybe the trolls are just going to kill me with fat. My goal is just to not become Rush Limbaugh, where I'm just this fat fuck that just talks all day. Because that's really what it is. People write me these beautiful emails, and when I don't respond because I can't possibly, people are like, dude, they hold it against me. They're like, oh. And dude, your support is awesome. That's the problem. It's like, you think that, how did you find the fasting? Fasting's good, Mountain Bear. I just need more crushing. I need, running stairs is the best thing for me. Guys, just wait. Give me a month. I'll lose 30 pounds in a month. Because now I've identified the problem. Remember when I quit drinking after drinking for like 30 freaking years? Check this out. Wait till you see this shit. Should I take pictures? Or is that gay? Is it gay? Is it sodomy heavy if I take progress pictures of my belly? You don't need to be perfect, model fit. Like, you get it ugly out there. Of course I don't do that. We will make you hungry as heck. It's gay. It is gay. You're right, Mom Bear. It's gay. You're right. Thanks for reminding me, Mom Bear. It is gay. Wanna know what else is gay though, Mom Bear? What you do with all those dicks? You eat them. No, it's inspiration. No, it's gay. Mom Bear's right. It's not inspiring just to show a dude's body over and over again. It's fucking gay and weird, creepy. Most bad people I know. Maybe you just do CBD. I kind of know that. It's not gay to track progress. Right, but I'm not going to post or show anybody. So then I wouldn't have any reason to do it because I don't care. Yes, it's gay. I know it's gay. Thank you. Mountain Bear already informed me that. I don't know who you are, so now I'm starting to think you sound like a little boss. It's not gay, it's how you know the winter and shade. It's not gay, it's how you know that what you're doing is working. Yeah, we all know what we know. It becomes gay when you post your daily. Yes. Thank you, Ugly Ass Bear. You've redeemed your reputation. Yeah, posting it in any way is gay. It's even gay that I showed a picture of what I use. I just wanted to end the conversation once and for all that I don't understand fitness. I started my son on TV. Will you be able to tell by your face? No, you can't though. Man, maybe. I think my face looks strong now. That's okay with Mom Bear. Pile of dicks. Now that's gay if you want to do it. Right, well see that's what I do though. I post stuff. It's gay. Just trust me, everything about it's gay. I don't care about the well, I can see it. I know what it is. It's virtuous a bit also. You like fitness? It's all and gay. Yes. All of it's gay. You don't need to buy anything, you already explained. Right, it's all about procreating. It's really gay when you split I did a nice sort of trash out and go without window shopping. Nice, John Denver Bear. I'm going to just start randomly say if that's okay with Mountain Bear at the end of my sentences. If that's okay with the great Mountain Bear. But we got to throw in the great too, so it's kind of confusing. What are you guys working on? Oh, nice. Yeah, I like my mustache when it gets long. Maybe join a running club. We're all losing weight laughing. Right, laughing is good for your gut. You like fitness? How about fitness? No. Heard meth helps? Yes. All right, I gotta go. So, hey buddy, let's hang out. P.O. Box 727, Gig Harbor, Washington, 98335 if you would like to support the stream. Dude, why do you think he's associated to a mountain? He's a fat... Oh, jeez, Mount Bear. Hiding in plain sight, aren't you? Hiding in plain sight. That's why you wanted to live near your mom in Ireland, because you wanted those home-cooked meals. You call those meals, aren't you? Mom Bear. That's why they call you mom, because big one's fat. He's right, though. Big one's fat. I'm not as fat as I was in the doc. But I hate looking at it. I like when Owen starts reading a comment and immediately realizes it's just a sick joke and stops hilarious. Thank you. Hey, Mom Bear, you working on stuff? I'm real excited to see another cartoon. I've been great. Love you, Bears. Yeah. Why DAYZ on that mountain? According to Unauthorized.tv, the new site, is now completely debugged. That means we will probably be putting it Unauthorized.tv, not the second version, soon. I appreciate your emails and everything. I appreciate your support. I respond to everybody. But the mountain is based. Dude, the mountain is so based. The mountain is the wind beneath my wings. What's the over-under on Mountain Bear's next cartoon being? All right. No, we'll be now, though. I'm off work for a month. Yeah, and we can do a movie, dude. We can set up funding. Dude, we gotta do a movie. You're off work for a month. This is the deal. This is the deal, Mountain Bear. If you got a month, I got a job for you, Mountain Bear. We're gonna do a movie. And you're gonna draw me not as fast. Alright, much love, everybody. Be fruitful, multiply, don't be freaking bored. I'll see you guys tomorrow. with my dead alpaca, like people were trying to take away the pain, and I was
Yeah.
like, don't do that to me. I fucked up, and now she's dead, and now she's under a tree. And it's like now, today, this alpaca has a Kriya coat on. You know, she's nursing, she's running around. Like, if you took away, if you gave a numbing agent to that pain, and I said it wasn't because of me, I did the best I possibly could. No, I didn't. She got wet and cold, and it's like, you know, it's under my guidance. I'm the Lord of Ursa Manor, so it's like I can say, oh no, what I would be doing is saying, oh no, my alpaca is the Lord of Ursa Manor. No, I am. It's on me. And so don't take the pain from somebody because then they can't really electrify. Like my sons, you know, I'll tell them don't go near the fire, and they're like, eh. And then the woman, the mother's instinct is just always keep them from fire. The dad's instinct is like, touch it, you know.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I told you don't go near the fire, and you didn't listen. Okay, a controlled burn. Right? I'm not gonna let him fall in the fire, but it's like, go ahead. And then they're like, oh, I'm gated. I'm like, did that click yet? And then that's how people learn.
I think central air conditioning in modern society has taught us that, falsely, that pain is evil and comfort is good.
Right. Not
And
true.
I cannot stress more how untrue all of that stuff is. You know, that it's the burning of calories is what makes good. The alchemical calcination of something that creates good. Comfort is literally the stasis. All right, it's complete stasis. It's complete numb. It's the opposite of life, right?
The
The
opposite.
seasons are numb. Do we live in seasons where it's always tepid? Where it's no, fuck no. We don't have that. We have the exact opposite of that. But we're under this impression, you know, that burning calories is bad and sitting on your ass is good. And it's literally the exact opposite. But there's so much of it. There's so much inversion that you honestly could close your eyes and just take any concept that's ever been taught to you and turn it upside down. And I swear, 92% of the time, you're going to find out, oh, this is actually better.
Right.
Like, if I turn this around, it's actually better if I do it the opposite way.
Especially with comedy, cold climates make people funny. There was writings from Thomas Jefferson that the Mohawk and Iroquois Indian tribes were funny. And it's like,
Oh, wow.
why? It's like, because it's cold and shitty. You know, it's like, because if you're not funny, like, life gets really hard. And I was trying to do a bit about how, you know, how the worse the climate, the better the people, the funnier the people until it gets too bad. So you have LA, where no one has a sense of humor because it's 78 and sunny every day. So it's like, oh my God, I didn't get the joke. Get away from me, bigot homophobe. And then you get to New York, where it's just shitty enough where people have a good sense of humor. And then you get to Siberia, and it's like, I ate your dog. It's like, what? It's like, that makes me laugh. And so, yeah, there's like it's almost like the circumcision where one guy cuts his dick off and it's too far. It's like, there's a temperature where it's like just right for making great dudes.
It makes sense, yeah. That thermal layer in the ocean, you know, where whales communicate for thousands of miles. It can't be too deep, it can't be too shallow. It's got to be just right, just in the middle.
Just the tip of your dick. Just the tip.
Oh, jeez.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah, so embrace that. Like, and then you see stuff that's really funny. Like, for example, right here, I don't know if you can see this. Invisible plasma shield, which protects Earth from radiation, discovered 7,200 miles above planet. There's a good chance they just discovered the firmament and they just don't even know. I mean, I always find it really funny when people accidentally reveal truth when they're like, what could it be? It's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's probably the firmament. You know, there's this mystical, magical plasma shield 7,200 miles above planet, which is just plane with a T at the end, across with the word plane. I don't know, just something I throw out there.
Well, they just found a firewall too, a literal firewall. I don't think it's this story, but I think it came out today also that the satellite they sent way out, Voyager, I think it's Voyager, reached a firewall. Like they got to the end of the galaxy and they found a wall of fire, which again is just tying into Uranus smells like farts. It rains diamonds on Neptune. Pluto looks like a dog. All that stuff.
How much do you think they know, and how much do you think? Like, do you think there's people that are just totally fucking with people, or do you think this is a deep spiritual situation where the truth just gets really funny and people that are their aperture is too small. They don't realize what they're saying. How much of this do you think it's like, dude, do uranium smells like farts, let's just fuck with them? Or how many of it is like, this is out of anybody's hands?
I think it's both. I think what really makes these, I'm going to call them elite now, what makes these elite really laugh is when their minions believe it. I think they actually laugh more at their minions. I'm under the impression that the elite mock NASA engineers more than they mock us, because they're seeing how invested and how important this is for them. And so if anything, they're more toying with those people, you know. It's sort of a top down. The president's only going to really be able to mock the vice presidents because he just doesn't go into the secretary pool enough to see what's down there. My best guess is that people do know, and that there's a group of people that actually see what this place is, what Dojo Earth is about. It's here for discernment. And I believe that some of these people are working by making giant lies like Building 7 for the sole purpose of having our aperture open. And I only say that because there's just been so many psyops that don't fit in with the psychopathic killer narrative that we've
100%.
assigned them all,
Yeah.
right? It just doesn't make sense. So to me, I'm under the impression that there is a divine elite club of merry pranksters that are trolling us for the sole purpose of getting us to learn a lesson. This is no different than going into school and having someone put a piece of tape on your back that says, kick me. You have to learn how to sense your own field, right? To know that there's a sign on your back. It's not that that person is really trying to cruelly destroy you. It's that he's just trying to get you to fine-tune your system and to be more aware that there's trouble afoot. It's basically that kind of system.
Yeah, because the question you asked that I think is you can't really get around is, why didn't they assassinate the Challenger astronauts?
Yep.
It's like
Why
they're
Building
still
7?
alive. Like why there's no psychopathic motivation to do this whole psyop of the Challenger. And if they really didn't want people to see it, why wouldn't they kill those people? They're teaching at colleges. It's like, well, they're just trying to humiliate you. It's like, no, I don't think so, man. I really don't. I think that's such a loose end. It's like, even bank robbers will kill their associates, let alone this giant psychotic machine. Like, why wouldn't they kill more people? I don't, you know?
Plus, you can't really humiliate someone by focusing that much time and energy and effort on trying to humiliate someone. There's a return loop. You know, if you're going to spend 12 years creating this system to make someone feel like a fool, after about 8.6 years, you're going to be looking in the mirror going, damn, I've been wasting a lot of time on this just to make this person feel like an idiot. It just doesn't make sense. And just like you said, if you add up the challengers, if you're a psychopathic elite that wants to enslave the human race and kill people, why would you pass up a chance to psychopathically kill someone? Why would you pass up a chance? Like, why during World War II didn't we just have a mass filtering by literally just going around asking people, hey, do you believe in freedom? Yes. Bam, you're dead. Like, it would be so easy to just create a farm of slaves where we would just be serving this machine. That's not what's going on. There's something much deeper going on here. There's this Benjamin Franklin, this Masonic idea, you know, of a country of men that understand their sovereignty, not by the laws, but by what's in their heart. That's a profound freaking statement for a statist to make. Think about it. That's so profound for someone in charge to say, I do not want to be in charge. I really want these fuckers just to wake up. That's what I want. And I'm going to be investing all of my time in trying to wake them up. And then if you think about what it's like to be an elite, are you going to go to bed feeling high, like feeling like you had a good day because you murdered 25,000 people that day with a lie? Or that you caused this massive illumination in homeschooling and farming and self-employment that spread? Like, what's a better legacy for you, right? What's going to be something that you would rather leave behind? And it's absurd to me that we're under the impression that no, these are all psychopathic elite and their only legacy is to kill and harm people. But humans are so amazing and so resilient that they're not able to catch us. It's like the worst fantasy of hide and go seek for a 4-year-old. It's like, mom's never gonna find me. She's not gonna do it. It's not gonna freaking happen.
Right,
you know?
right, man. And this is the whole thing with compassion is not consent, because when you say stuff like that, people are so programmed to say, oh, James loves the elite. He loves the people that did 9/11. It's like, you're not listening. And people are starting to listen, though. I will say this. People are starting to see it, which is incredible to witness. People, just to understand aperture. That's why that's such a good addition to the conversation. It's like, can you see what we're saying? And some people, they couldn't, and now they can. Where it's like, I'll do these exercises where I have compassion for Barry Weiss. Like, I'll explain why she only can focus on money. And that's not me saying I like that. And so some of these people, the logic, the facts aren't lining up that they just want to kill as many people as possible. And I don't know the full picture. I don't know, but I know that we're on a bit of a journey now trying to see it, because something else is happening, you know?
Well, if we look at ourselves, even if we look at the roadmap of where we've been, I think it's hard to argue that we haven't been improving.
We've been
humanity
improving.
has not been awakening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even now we're questioning circumcision. Guys, it took 2,000 freaking years to start to question whether or not we should cut our genitals off to proclaim our loyalty to an invisible figure. I mean, seriously, I'm not talking about God. I'm talking about this ritual where we still do it today. We still interact with that ritual today. But this isn't a statement saying we're failing. It's a statement showing, look, we're making serious progress. It just takes a while. It takes a long ass time to breed out the stupidity and the slavery built into our system, that's built into our creature, you know, of who we are. It's a grand experiment, and if anything, I think that there could never be a more poignant proof of God than looking at Earth Dojo with all the lies. Isn't it funny how I can prove God with lies? But seriously, by looking at all the deception, by looking at all these lessons that we have, by watching how we've still been led gently through these programs, shows me that not only is God there, he's like a really awesome guy that's like spending a lot of calories to help us learn. It's fabulous.
Yeah, it really is. And especially when it comes to circumcision. If you do want to cut part of your dick to show loyalty to God, you have to choose it. To do it to a baby doesn't accomplish anything. So a baby a baby's just like, what the fuck is this place? And someone's like, ha-ha. And so the baby, that's why being, like, when I was quote unquote baptized, I wasn't really baptized. My mom, I wasn't circumcised. And when I was baptized, it was entrance into Christian community, because my mom would say, you know, you have to choose a baptism. If we just do it to you, it doesn't mean anything. It's all about consent. So if you just throw water on a baby and you're like, he chose it. It's like, no, he didn't. And if you want to cut off part of your dick to show your loyalty to God, you have to choose that. You have to be like, all right, God, here's the tip of my dick. And then, you know, God's like, can we sell it to Sandra Bullock's face? And it's like, what? Dude, she does dick facials.
Yeah, it's I tell you, it's so much gravy that your mom said that, because if you look at baptism as a once in a lifetime ceremony where you can absolve yourself of sins, I think the fact that we're doing that to babies is really kind of fucking them. It's like having a get out of jail free card and then using it when you're 7 months old. And it's like, oh well, that would have been great, but you can't have that. It's really interesting how that works. That's why the Anabaptists were tortured so badly, because they have this idea that no, you can be baptized more than once. It's a ritual that can be cleansed, that can be reaffirmed. It's a fascinating piece of theory. It's almost like, not almost, I think we were given this magic trick. I don't mean that disrespectfully. We were given a legitimate spiritual trick, like a spiritual process, a ritual that you could follow, but we're telling you can only do it once, and you already screwed it up because you had it as a baby. It's like,
Exactly.
Suck.
Exactly. And it's like, oh, and you got to confess all your sins to this guy at 12. It's like, I hadn't done anything yet, really. Like, if you're going to confess your sins and be reborn in water and in word and stuff, like, that's when you're like, I had an abortion. I murdered a man in Afghanistan. Like, come clean. If you're 12, it's like, I cheated in kickball. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the wrong thing that we should be teaching each other, because it has a subterranean belief that you will never be forgiven for your sins anymore. This is the last chance you get. So.
Right.
You know, do you want to kill someone before we do this? Do you want to go rape a girl? Do you want to go to a village and burn it down? Because I know you're 5, but you better hurry.
Right, right. It's like, confess your sins. It's like, I went pee-pee on my shoes. It's like, okay. It's really meaningful when you admit, when you put word to your sins, because it's like, it's not about being punished. It's about saying it's wrong. Because your circuitry starts getting wired where the Marine sniper, and I've known these guys, a lot of these guys self-medicate with heroin now. It's really sad, but the Marine sniper, the minute, that's why they used to have a hard time talking about 9/11, where it's like the minute you put word to it and say, I also think it's suspicious what happened, then the circuitry's like, zzz. It's just saying, I feel bad that I aborted my baby. The minute you say that, that's when you suffer, that's when you're punished, and that's why we don't, what's that? Did you say something?
I didn't say anything.
Oh,
No,
and that's why that's so powerful. It's not about, it's not about the state, finding Hillary and putting her in Guantanamo or anything. It's like when you acknowledge it's wrong, it's a very powerful thing, and that's when you get set free, and you have to pay for that. You have to pay. A lot of the things I was very proud of in my life, I had to pay for. I had to say, like, I didn't realize I was part of something bad. And so if you don't admit that, and it burns calories, dude, it hurts. It's very painful. And so that's when you're 12 and you're confessing. It's like, what are you confessing? That you want pee-pee on your shoes?
Right. Yeah. That we find ourselves in our sins. We find holes in our firmament, our own individual firmament. We find flaws in ourselves through our sins. And when we confess them, when we say, I did this and it was wrong, that's literally applying a patch, a salve. You're healing that. You're putting presence, your presence, your prana presence in that one spot. Yeah, man, here I really fucked up. I took this spot and did this bad thing to this person, and I've never forgiven myself for them, and here I am fixing that now. It's presence. You're going back into your cockpit, and you're saying, I got a giant hole here. I'm patching it. Now no one can get in. This is just my cockpit now.
Exactly. I got a couple other things here. I don't even remember what this matters. It just says churchy. Oh, here's something funny. I figured you'd get a kick out of this. Daywalker Bear said, Owen was chopping Churchians in the chat last night. It was epic, and it just shows me with a machete just chopping down weeds. And it's for the Churchians. This is the thing. I can seem really hard on people because you need to hear an extreme thing. Like, I can't just say, your church, they're doing the best they can. The pastor needed a few months off. Dude, people were born and married and died, and the church doors were closed. It's like, so when I'm like, he's a coward, and that hurts, long term, it's gonna help you more. I'm doing no service to anybody by saying, like, it's so understandable. I mean, why not just buckle down and just close the doors for 4 months? Will people die that gave 10% of their income and their hearts for 80 years to this church? I mean, that's great. Like, I have to make you feel pain or else you're not going to grow. It's spell breaking. It's like evil spell breaking.
Oh, the worst is I get told, James, you don't have enough compassion. You have no right to be talking about God because you don't have enough compassion for what other people believe. I get that all the time. And it's just like, wow. Because it's they don't see the man, I don't mean to sound like I'm tooting my horn, but it takes courage to say things that are going to cause some problems. Yeah. I'm not talking about the kind of thing where you can yell out the window, hey, farts are funny. I'm talking about when you're talking to people that you respect and they respect you, and you're telling them something they're not going to like. That takes courage. That's a transaction between me and God, by the way. And it's funny because as I'm having that transaction with God, I'm being told by all these people how evil and insensitive and how uncompassionate I am because I'm even looking at this stuff. Meanwhile, my transaction with God, that means what they think means nothing. It means nothing to my transaction with him. It's a completely separate thing. Exactly. And I wish more people would see that God is your relationship with God. It's not your tertiary relationship with God through a church or through a book or through a tenet or through an idea or through a procedure or through a baptism. It's your direct relationship with God. It's all it takes.
No pain, no gain. And it's gonna be in your life. Like, there's gonna be moments where you feel it, and there's gonna be moments where you're in the ritual tradition in a church and you don't feel it, and that makes you feel like an imposter. I used to feel that as a kid sometimes, where I'd be in this house of God and I wouldn't feel anything that was happening, and then I'd start thinking, oh, I'm bad, I don't feel God. And then there'd be moments my mom used to say I'd climb a tree and talk to God. And so it's like, well, how come in a tree I could talk to God, but not in the house of God? And I realized later it's because it's a tax shelter focused around child rape.
Yep. Yep. I had the same experiences where I would look at the crucified, an artistic sculpture that's placed at the front of my church of a crucified Jesus. And I was having much different reactions. I was having much different feelings inside than anyone else around me. And I noticed that anytime I tried to express that was like, oh, don't do that. And that creates an evacuation. If I would not have kept those feelings, if I would not have honored those feelings, I would have had to evacuate them. I would have had to say, hey, look, left shoulder. Sorry, dude, you're holding memories that I cannot handle anymore. I do not have a left shoulder anymore.
Yeah.
And you end up your life where you're missing chunks of yourself because they're just too painful to face, or they're too calorically expensive to face. I think that's really more what it comes down to. This is all about germ theory. The idea that someone outside of you can inject a poison inside of you to convince you that there is a poison inside of you that needs to be cleared. I'm telling you, if you look at that analogy across religion, scientism, government, across every single thing we're told, it's always that exact same framework, that you're corrupted on the inside, you can't see it, I have a way to see it, it's going to involve a syringe, here it goes, you just need to trust me. It's always the exact same blueprint of mind control that comes in on us.
Definitely. And it's crazy how people can warp even the message of Jesus into this nonsense. Like he says the kingdom of God is within, and people are like, oh no, what he means by that is it's without. And you're like,
right. Yeah. And you don't understand the interpretation of that because it was interpreted by this person to mean this. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, when I was telling people I didn't understand the Trinity, and my understanding of the Trinity is God, Logos incarnate, Jesus, and then Holy Ghost is my heart, like my connection. It's a living Trinity. And people are like, no, that's sacrilegious. And I'm like, the Trinity isn't even in the Bible, and you don't even understand it. So why are you getting so mad? And then I realized it's because of, it's almost like when your arm is asleep and starts waking up and there's pain, and people are like, don't let that pain in. It's like, dude, my hand's asleep. I can't feel my hand. It's like, pain bad. And I'm like, fuck you. My pain's good. And now my hands work, you know?
When you cut your finger, our first reaction is to cover it. And I think that's showing you that there's a propensity for us to abandon our pain. When you cover it, what you're really doing is you're like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. And then you have to build up the courage to finally see the wound, to actually apply some sort of treatment to it. But until you're willing to see it, you're in denial of that wound, so you're covering it up and you're like, it's not there. We do that across the board on every single thing that we encounter. And it's this aversion to pain. I'm not trying to get all Rasputin on us and saying we need to hang from our nipples, but I'm telling you guys that pain is a valuable commodity when it comes to alchemy, when it comes to making something happen, whether you're digging a bed, whether you're building a house, whether you're fixing your philosophy in life. There's nothing wrong with pain. We should enjoy it. I went out for a run this morning in the rain. It was freaking cold as hell, like these cold drops. But it's like, it woke me the fuck up. I felt so alive as that was happening. It wasn't a pain. I was able to transmute that into something different, into something interesting.
Exactly, dude. And if you don't allow people to learn that, it's like you hate them. It's like that's an act of hatred where it's like, no, you stay in this opiate. That's why it's like the opiate is really so powerfully evil now. You know, people are talking about corona numbers. It's like, dude, people are medicating themselves to death because they can't feel pain anymore. They won't feel it. And it's just crazy. And you can apply, and I know we end up talking about religion, but I think in these times of instability and all these, the best apocalypse ever, people are going to their base first, and they're like, what do I believe? And I feel that, and I resonate that with people, and so I talk about what people want to talk about, and so that's why we're talking about it. I don't like the NBA, but it's gone. Like, in these times, people are like, what do I believe? You know?
Yep. Are we still streaming? I don't know if we are,
I think
actually.
so. They're saying not, but we're back. It just goes in and out a little bit. And if there's despair in the chat, you will be banned for life. All right, we're back.
Well, I will say that when you were in that tent, when you're in that ambulance, when you're inside the fluorescent world, you know, everything is tepid, everything is the same temperature, everything is the same feeling. It makes it that much harder to go outside again. It makes it that much harder to understand that pain is not your enemy. And so much of that is apprehension. So much of that is our matrix of our mind, of what we're willing to accept. We just have to be less afraid of burning calories. We have to be less afraid of discomfort. We have to look at it almost like freaking Vikings and be like, oh, what discomfort have I felt today? What can I use in a resourceful way to show that I've earned this day? That kind of thing.
Oh, exactly. Without pain, I think epigenetically, I feel naturally that without pain, I'm failing. Like, something deep inside me is like, you're not in pain, you're failing. That's why I used to self-sabotage a lot when I, like, with money. Like, I'd start making money and then I'd, like, burn it somehow. And it's because I was like, if I don't feel the ground, like, if I don't feel hungry or painful, I'm very uncomfortable. But now that I have a family, I can keep crushing because I'm like, it's for their future, and I can keep, you know, I feel like I'm in this race to get out of the mortgage and get out of some of these things because I can now see that Iron Jaguar a little bit looking at me like, we're gonna eat your fucking kids if you don't get them out of debt. And I'm like, haha. And I bought my wife from the Grabbler back with her student debt, you know, because that helped motivate me too. I'm like, my wife is owned by the Grabbler right now. I'm like, I'm gonna pay off my wife. I will buy my bride from the Jew. and that's very motivating.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome. What a dream to be able to say that. And that's exactly what has to happen. It's all of us are being pulled in, and we got to pull ourselves back out.
Joe Rogan just got something really cool to help out his future career. As you can see here, they're called knee blades. And what Joe can do now is he can put his knees on this contraption. So when he's going from grabber to grabber, sucking them off, it's an easy slide.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm a retard. Which one's this? Oh, this is funny. I sent this to you yesterday. It's a bear and a dude reading a book. Read the part again where she burns her whore mouth on my porridge. Oh, and what do you think of this idea? And then I'll let you go. We're doing a long one today, but the people are loving it. They're like, best combo ever. Yeah, but I think they're trying, and I don't even know who the fuck Day is, but I think that they're pumping up a race thing to pull, because I think COVID's dying. And so we have Jimmy Fallon apologizing for blackface. We have the black bird watcher harassed by the Baron Karen in New York City. And then there was one other one. The mainstream media right now is pushing this race shit hard, and it's so dead. Like, no one's biting. Like, nobody's like, how dare Jimmy Fallon for putting polish on his face? It's the best apocalypse ever. It's like we're watching this. Did you see the video of the black bird watcher?
No.
Oh, dude, it's this, like, lady in a mask in Central Park, and she's like, get away from me, I'm going to call the cops for the black man's harassing me. And she got fired, and the guy's like, I'm just trying to watch some birds. It's absurd. And they both have the same last name. It's just so, and I've never met a black bird watcher. And he's wearing a bike helmet. It's just, and I'm watching this, and I don't know if it's fake or not, but it's just like they're trying to start getting blacks and whites to argue because their narrative is falling apart, and they're just trying to be like, and no one cares anymore. I really don't feel it anymore.
Yeah, I think they rolled out Bill Gates as like a desperate attempt to kind of keep the COVID thing alive, you know?
Yeah.
But he's so ridiculous. It's really hard for people to even accept him as a worthy villain, you know? It's so much comedy around him. But then when you look at all those books that he had, it wasn't just How to Lie with Statistics. He had another book called What If, where he on his site he's saying, oh, this is someone eats arsenic and then they poison millions of people and it's a comedy. And he's telling you how funny it is that people are being poisoned by arsenic. And each book you read is like this descent into a deeper level of hell for Bill Gates and into what his theories are and what his system is. And just like you proved, there's not enough fear of Bill Gates. It's not working. They've run out of juice. They need to try something else. And just like wrestling, if you hit someone in a chair in yesterday's match, you're going to have to bring out a ladder. You're going to have to hit someone in a ladder tonight. You know, you're going to have to escalate. You have to escalate. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And that's what makes it the best apocalypse ever, because we're watching the escalations out-escalate each other. And it's just so comical. You can't even watch it as pretend like it's real anymore.
Dude, there's no black bird watchers. Because they ran out of everything. They're like, there's no black swimmers. They made a movie like The First Black Swimmer. And now it's about bird watching. It's just like, dude. And also, oh man, I just had something to say about what you were saying. So it was about escalation. Oh yeah. And that's why compassion, and this is, I'll loop this around before we get out of here. One of James's best messages that he's articulated very well, and this is all ancient knowledge, but unless it's articulated properly, it doesn't work. And that's why I'm such a fan of James, because compassion is not consent. It's a great way to be like, bam, now it's in you, you understand it. Is if you have compassion for Bill Gates, it's so easy to best him, because imagine, so if you want to understand, okay, so when you first look at him, you're like, evil. Why is he trying to inject all these kids and fuck up their lives? His dad started Planned Parenthood. As someone whose dad was pro-abortion, it's really painful when you're a kid. Like when you're a kid and your dad is like, great, Roe v. Wade, this is awesome, and you're like, what? You believe in killing babies? He's like, definitely. And you're young. You're like me? It's like, yes. And also, Bill Gates' dad is like my size. He's like 6'8". Bill Gates is a real little dude. And so his dad is off on this huge mission to murder babies. He's just a little dude. And so Bill then gets, I don't know how much of this is fake or real, or is he just a pawn like Epstein, just giving this money and having to play a part. But his life is terrible. The only joy he gets is having someone consent to one of his needles and suffer, because he's in so much unending pain. And his wife, quote unquote, I know someone who bodyguarded for their family. I'm like you, as a zeteticist is what that was called. I know shit from what people tell me in my life, or what I see. And his wife treats him like shit. She's a total cunt, like horrible person. Just like, damn, fuck you, you know? Oh, by the way, something funny. A group of Karens is called a cunt. You know how a group of like a flock of Karens?
Right.
A cunt of Karens. So
Yeah,
anyway,
it was either that or privilege. I'm glad to know it's fun. I think I'm fit.
a privilege of Karens. Oh, that's even better, dude. That's even better, because that almost has too much amperage for it. What,
Well, I'll tell you, Owen, real quick about Bill Gates is that I think we're missing a profound schism that made him so bad, which was when he was taking over the software industry, software was open sourced. People were writing open source software and sharing it.
Yeah.
He came and was the very first person to say, fuck all you guys, I'm taking all your code and I'm selling it.
Right.
At a very young age, he was taught as a grappler. He was taught to be someone who would only be someone if he was able to do these things, if he was able to lie and cheat and take things from him. That stayed with him, and so you spend your entire life never being able to connect with real people. Instead, the worst thing happens. You're put on a pedestal with money, so now you're connecting with people that are only there because they want money from you. So it ends up turning him even more into this grabbler-esque kind of spirit. And I think that what you're looking at now is genuine, but it's not like in his mind he's really thinking, I want to kill 1 million people. In his mind, he's like, I want to be redeemed my whole life.
Interesting.
I need someone to see me as a person, and they never have because of this and because of that. And so now I'm going to save billions of people by doing this. And that's the only thing he sees. He doesn't have compassion for who he's helping. He has compassion for himself because no one else will, or at least that's how he sees it.
Yeah, because he's the ultimate betrayer. You know, as the world is developing this new way to communicate that's mind-blowing, he gathered it all. He's the scab. He gathered it all up and froze it and put a stamp on it, got all the money, and was like, no one else can do it now. I patented it. It's like you can't patent water. It's like we just did. We're the Holy See or whatever. And so it's like, you're so right. It's like that Tikkun Olaf thing that the Grabbler does, where it's healing the world. It's like, it's not yours to, you know, the world will be here long after you're gone, you know? It's like, they're trying to make up for the trauma. That's so true, man. It's like, he's like, look at me, I'm redeemed. He betrayed everybody. And so, when we do these exercises, compassion is not consent, it's how you can beat these people. It's how you can survive and keep sovereignty. Because if not, he becomes this bigger-than-life Wizard of Oz character that's like, I will stab you with my needle. It's like, who is he? What is he? And then when you see the little grappler inside him and the pain and the, even beyond the grappler, the little child in him, because everyone's born with potential gravy and beauty. It's like he was a baby. It's like then you can withstand him. It's not that we like him. It's not like, oh, he's a great guy. It's like that's how you don't spiral about him, you know?
Yeah, well, and I would say that Kushner and Gates are the same thing. They were made in the same way, you know, where they were escalated higher than they could ever possibly go, just like you mentioned with Obama. And then they spent the rest of their life freezing inside this mansion. They're completely isolated from everyone around them because of the very system that caused them to bring up. And that's what you see in Joe Rogan with Fear Factor. Why is that guy obsessed with watching other people eat scrotum? Why is he obsessed with watching other people do sick fucking things for money? Why? Why, Joe? Why is that so interesting and entertaining to you to have a show where people do things that are completely against their entire being, their entire system, in exchange for fucking money? What does that say? You know, it's again, the truth is right in front of you. It's just so close that it's just like, oh, I don't see it. I can't see it. It can't be that close. It can't be that obvious. It's like, yeah, that's camouflage.
It's that obvious. And when people always say things are hiding in plain sight, it's almost like, no, things are just in plain sight. They're hidden by your aperture.
Yes, yeah, good way to put it, exactly.
It's like they're just right there. You know, they're telling you. You know, they're telling you who they are. And you just, because of trauma and pain, you won't allow yourself to see what it really is, you know? It's like, and so that's why this is the best apocalypse ever.
Yeah, I agree. If we could all learn to relax, to like vaguely relax, I'm talking about your polyvagal system, and if we could just like learn to relax, I'm under the impression that we would see a completely different world. Everything around us would look very different because we would be more relaxed to it. We would be more open to what's actually out there, to what's happening all around us.
Yeah, it's almost like our nose, you can see it if you just look differently. Like you're like, oh, there's my nose.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. Not to plug my own self, but if anyone wants to read it, the Eye of Ra is a live stream I did on this, where it's just purely just talking about the mechanics of how our eyes work, of how the retinas work, that they actually require dopamine, believe it or not, to work. You can cut off the dopamine in a rat's eyes, a mouse's eyes, and they can't see anymore. It requires the flow of good chemicals that make us feel good in order for our eyes to work. And that should be a profound clue to all of us. The reason why our eyes have to go all the way back to our occipital lobe is because they have to pass through our emotion centers first for approval. We literally have to sign off what we're getting ready to see by this sort of language nun that wants to make sure we don't see something that's too traumatic, because we'll end up freezing. We'll end up like freezing in flight like a possum, right? Where the deer's in our headlights, where we're exposed to something that we can't handle. So we have this built-in regulator that's controlling what's coming in front of our eyes. Once you understand that, I think you can really truly see why this aperture stuff is a science. It's how we're built. It's a safety mechanism that we have built into us that we need to learn to exercise, you know, learn how to stretch it, learn how to find a way to find compassion in places that we couldn't find before. No different than weightlifting, you know. It's really the same kind of exercise.
Yeah, and it's so helpful for the truth community to deal with their family and friends. That's why this is so boots on the ground helpful. It's not just conceptual. It's like so many times we've been like, what about building 7? And our friends and family will just be like, it's as if they don't see or hear us. It's just like, and you're like, no, like, how do you explain? And they're just like, and you're like, what is wrong with you? It's almost like getting mad at someone for being nearsighted. Where it's like, how can you not see? It's like, how do you not see that bird right there? It's like, what bird? And it's like, you're not my brother. It's like, no, they can't see it. And so, because there's so many times where I'm like, there's been times in my life where it's just so blatantly obvious, where you're like, dude, that's not how buildings, let's just start with 9/11, it's the easiest. No, the moon landing. That's a meth head's tree fort. Like, you could just see that's not possible. They haven't went back in 6 years, and they're just like, and then you get mad at them, and then this is the craziest part. You're wrong. Because you're taking their handicap personally. You know, you're like, it's as if you're like, stand up. It's like, my legs don't work. It's like, stand up or you're not my brother. It's like, dude, I'm paralyzed from trauma. You know?
You described James True 3 months ago, well, like before COVID. You know, where that was me. Like, what the fuck's wrong with all you dumbass? You know, and it was just like, now it makes so much more sense. I can have conversations with people that I care about, and that doesn't get in the way anymore. I can truly see where someone's coming from because I can understand where their aperture is and what they're willing to be able to look at.
Yeah, because I took it personally. I would say, there's an enemy right there, and the fact you're not reacting means you want me and my family to die.
Yeah,
and they're just like, you're crazy. And I'm like, you want us to die. And then I'm like, oh, they don't see that. And then I'm just like, whoa. And this is why that concept alone will save families. Because the real casualty of all this is you don't talk to your brother anymore. You lose your friends. You lose all this stuff. And it's one thing if they betray you or if they're terrible. It's, burn the dead wood. But if someone just isn't capable of seeing something, that's why comedy is so helpful, because the pleasure of a laugh can outweigh the endocrine pain. So if you're laughing at the baby boomer, how dare you, we went to the moon. It just, people, like the cortisol versus, the good one, they're battling, like, what's worse? And so the laughter and the community of everybody sharing that laugh, like a Glober Sniper, that woke up a lot of people, because it's like, Glober or Sniper, it's like, I just factored in the spin. It's like, dude, we're gonna die if you do that. It's like, the Neil deGrasse Tyson, the fake thief, and so people laugh and they go, oh, these guys, because they see flat earthers as fucking retarded. They're like, you have a broken brain. And I'm like, look around, nothing's spinning. And they're like, you're crazy. And so when you can get that comedy to just to pull you through it, you're like, oh, yes, you know?
Yeah, I've been working. I can't even say I'm working on it. I've really learned a lot watching your comedy, because you're using philosophy, but you're using it through comedy, and I know you're more effective than I am at it. I mean, I say that in a good way.
Well, it's different. It's just different. It's not more or less effective. Sometimes I can freak people out by just spiraling. You're more paced. You know, I don't think you should get louder like me. I heard you talk about that, about projection. I think you appeal to people, to some moods where people just want more relaxed. Like, you're more like wine, I'm like crack. Like, you're like drinking some wine like apathy. You know, I'm like, ah!
Well, there's a lot of lessons here for energy itself, like energy work. You know, when you're talking to someone, you're actually doing energy work. You're broadcasting a signal. It's either going to be ingested or it's not. It's going to be rejected or whatever. Yeah. And if anything, this aperture's taught me, it's just fascinating to see what works and what doesn't work. You know, what's going to be effective and what isn't going to be effective. And laughter that's an amazing field. That's an electrical state that someone is in. And I think that when they're in that state, all kinds of chiropractic can happen on someone, you know, in the middle of a laugh, basically.
Yeah, and it's also healing. Like, laughter and music literally heals people. And also, this is something that people need to understand. Some of James's messages are not trying to break your faith. In fact, it'll help it. You know, like, sometimes he'll talk about things, and he'll talk about stuff that is jarring to people's faith, and they're like, no, that's sacrilegious, that's blasphemy, like, what you're doing is evil. You don't see the big picture yet. Like, if you realign your baseline, you don't close your church. Like, when you understand that your belief is medicine, that your faith is medicine, and you can think of these things and connect to it in your daily life, you don't have to have some asshole that's going to close his doors if it's convenient for his finances and clip off part of your dick. You know, it how, like, my Christianity's gotten better to the point where I've questioned it more about, like, what is, like, Christians sometimes act so psychotic to me that I'm like, am I even a Christian? And then I'm like, yes, it's almost like American. I'm an American, even if like some of these people are like rolling around Walmart like we're fucking free and brave, I'm like, I'm still an American. I'm not gonna rely on these people that are like, you can't question that, you can't think for yourself, you gotta wash your blood, the blood all over you, and then take the fucking tracker and all that. I'm like, no, that isn't gonna change my identity. And that's been my struggle, because sometimes the Bible words get so tedious that I'm just like, you know, the rhetoric I used was my closed church is better than your closed church. And that got through to them, because they're like, oh, fuck, how can we claim to have a superior church when they're all closed because of allergy season?
Yeah, I get pushed out of the Christian tent all the time, you know, because of the things I say. But I always come back in, because this is my religion too, fuckers. Like that's what I say when I come back in. It's like, no, we're all here to make this.
Right, and also, it's like, and you can do your own thing. Like, my mom says she's a Christian pagan. And people are like, what? And she's like, I'm a Christian with pagan roots. It's like, my ethereal is Christian, my root is pagan. And people are like, that's not on the table. She's like, fuck you, yes it is.
How could I like your mom more somehow? You just did that. I didn't know that was possible. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, she's like, the roots of my tree are pagan, and my leaves are Christian. Like, that's you know, that's my God the Father, and that's Mother Earth, and I really live the Bible. And people are like, no, but, and she's like, I was fired from a college for standing up for my son. What the fuck have you done? Someone said a group of Karens is a complaint of Karens. I don't want to run, we're over 2 hours. I don't want to keep crushing, but yeah, it's like, you can, like, say what you are. The truth is godly. The truth, like, truth is godly. It's like saying, like, great, like, you know, courage, like these things. Saying what you feel is it's connected to God. Like, some people are like, well, Owen's a Christian comic. I'm like, anything good is what I consider Christian. And some people, like Benjamin Balderson, I think he's good, because even though he's not Christian, it's like he is a man who wants to make the best shit that heal people, and he's really good with his alpacas. He's a family man. Like, who the fuck would I be to judge that man? And that's why, like, some people I really connect great with is you. Bob Shea is a non-denominational Christian. You got E. Michael Jones, a diehard Catholic. You know, you got my best friend Kevin, is more like a noble pagan, or just an honest, hardworking dude who's like, you know, and I'm like, what is the common denominator here? It's not people who just say, I am Christian, because some of those people stabbed me in the back with a fucking dagger longer than my chest. Just bang! And so it's like, it's all about, you just have to be honest with your resonance, like what feels right to you, you know?
Yeah, and more importantly, don't be afraid to fuck up. That's really the key. I like with live streaming, just my little JoJo there. But I will come out and I will say things, and I wanna feel the results of those. I wanna go to bed at night going, God, I shouldn't have said that, or I meant to say this, or this, or that. It's so crucial that we have those experiences. Live streams are not fun for me, guys. They're work. They're like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but what I mean is it's an alchemical process that I'm going under every day, and I don't know if I'm going to be okay. I don't know if I'm going to be okay at the end of the stream, because I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth. And that takes a certain amount of faith and confidence in James True, True's ability to try and discern and see the world as much as possible. So it's a living exercise for me too, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. This is about unlearning more than it's about learning, if that makes sense. It's about shedding off things that we picked up along the trail without knowing it.
Yeah, and I have so much respect for you doing that, because I know how hard that is, and a lot of people don't. I made a statement early on, I stuck to it even through pain, that I wasn't going to edit. Like, if I made, like last night I may have banned too many churchians. I don't know. I felt a little bad about it. I was like, man, Mortwell Fair 3.0, like, did I really need to ban that guy? But it's like, I won't ever go back and delete it. Like, because I'm like, I want it to hold. There's episodes of my podcast where I'm saying Hillary Clinton's funny. This is like 5 years ago, but, you know, there's episodes of my podcast where I'm like, I'll never turn on Steven Crowder. He's a great and honest man, you know? And I'm not going to go back out of shame and delete that. And that hurts, but... Yeah. I said early on, like someone says, oh, don't say so much. They'll hang you with your own words. And I'm like, I'm going to give them so much rope that it never snaps.
Yeah, that's my only safety when I really had a bad show is I'm like, if I can just cover it up with 3 more shows, I won't feel as bad anymore.
Totally. Yeah,
But the only thing I'm doing is James, you just have to get up and do it. You just have to get up and do it. It doesn't matter how shitty the day is. I'm going to do this today. That's really all that matters is you got to show up, you know. It's all about showing up.
And let the pain resonate. You know, there's episodes where, you know, my kid is running in the background, he falls, starts crying or something, and then there's this whole Reddit thread that I abuse kids. And I'm like, I won't be affected by them doing that either. Like, I won't take that down. I won't backpedal. This is my life, and I will not apologize for it. And there was times when that was very difficult, and now it's not. Now it's like, it feels great to be like, you know, the irony is now the beast is trying to delete it all because they don't want to show my growth because it's such a clear blueprint to getting out of hell that they're like, oh no, we got to delete every platform he's on. And I'm like, I see. If I was going to edit it, they wouldn't have even needed to do it. They wouldn't have needed to break terms and conditions, which is allowing me to sue the shit out of Patreon. It's like, oh, now they don't want people to see the path where I can make mistakes and grow and shit. Because to freeze someone in these horrible trauma cycles, like, I've embarrassed myself so many times, it's insane. You know, just getting drunk, yelling about Jews, all this stuff, and it's like, no, that happened. Like, that happened, and I'm this now, and it's like, I'm not going to edit that. It happened, you know, and I like that. I was partially responsible for my alpaca dying. It hurts. What now? You know, all right, where can the people find you?
I stream on YouTube. I'm still out on YouTube. I'm like Owen, so you can find me there. I stream in the morning, usually before Owen at 11 a.m. Eastern time, Katua time.
Yeah.
And I got a website, jtrue.com. I written 4 books. One of them's called Technology of Belief. It's all over this gravy we've been talking about belief itself and how that system works. And yeah, I'm also almost always catch Owen's stream every day. So normally you'll find me actually in the chat too.
Someone just said buy his book, Quantum Rapture. That's from McDee's.
Yep, that's my newest book. It's a sci-fi. It's more about transhumanism. But yeah, that's the one that's fresh out. It's my first fiction book. The others have been more non-fiction stuff. So.
Yeah, and I got a lot of respect for what you did, man. You were also writing for other people, and then you started writing for yourself, and you accepted poverty and pain, and now it's really good to see you really getting a foothold and growing some roots and crushing. So it's really fun to watch.
Well, I just want to say again, thanks a lot, Owen. You've done a lot to help expose me to new readers, and I just can't thank enough for that. It's been a big part of this, so thank you.
Someone said top 10 BB Gravy stream today. Great, that makes up for last night when I was just like, everybody's banned. All right, James, you're the man. I'll talk to you soon. Good hang.
Yeah, bye, Owen.
Right,
total pleasure. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the great James True. That was fun. I'm not gonna. I'll do mail tonight. I'll do a 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got a ton of mail. But do you guys enjoy that? Thanks, James. Awesome stuff. Awesome top 3 streams. Oh, sweet. Tarian Bear. Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He is, and he reminds me of like a family member. He reminds me of just somebody that I grow up with. You know. By the way, guys, SpaceX flight today, 4:33 p.m. That's hilarious. Any final thoughts before I go? Seems like everyone really enjoyed it. Yeah, the mistakes are what makes us strong. And I early on said I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to go back and rewrite my life. And so what happened last night? I don't know. I'm going to sit the time out. You can always watch it. You're a dick. See, I'm already being a dick. But guys, I'm right when I do that. Like, what happened last night? Well, it's still on the live. I thought most of it was a great stream, and I probably should have been up there. But part of me was like, you can just go back and watch it. So someone thumb it up for me, and then give me something to drink and put my feet up. Why do you think we're in this mess? It's like, what happened last night, Bears? Well, you can just go watch it. What happened last night? That happened. Yeah, it's so obvious. It was great. They deserved it. I agree, but when I'm like, if you go back to your church, you're out. I know I can get intense. Road to 1,000 chat. Great stream last night. I'll open up the chat right now if anybody wants to give subs to each other. I know that some people get. Let me just open this up right now. I'll answer questions for 5 minutes. I'm gonna go check on my alpaca for you. I might be wrong, but I'm not lying, BB. Yeah, it's how I've kept sanity. 3,300 viewers. Dan Cranch has one-eyed wieners confirmed. Yeah, and that's a good amount of viewers. I like that. 33, and then the only other acceptable number would be 911. Make it good, because a lot of people are now watching stuff on unauthorized, so which is great. Unauthorized.tv. Any comments on the documentary? Hola from Puerto Rico. Hola Puerto Rico. Maricón, mariposa, potito sucio. What happened last night? I don't know, but you got banned today. Great one. James True's awesome. Yeah, he's a legend. I remember on episode 666 there was 6,666 viewers. Yeah, it's life is odd, but it's fun. It's a great time. ABB Howard, 5-gallon, loving unauthorized TV. Awesome. How do we see the documentary? It doesn't appear to be unauthorized. It is. It's at the new one. If you just subscribed, it's going to take a week for you to get. Great name, unauthorized. Awesome. Unauthorized.tv. I'll give this 5 minutes. I'll get off at 11:55. If anybody has any questions. Watching the doc tonight, then last night's stream again because that was legendary. Awesome. I'm glad that you like. See, if I had went with my pain and been like, I'm going to take it down. I was too mean to that one guy. No, he can come back if he wants. This is me, and I'm not going to compromise because that's when you enter a hall of mirrors, which is where the Treaty of Versailles was signed. Really bad thing that happened. Both are up at UATV. Thank you, Kind to Bear. Watch the first 35 minutes of the doc. Very moving. How you invite people into your life. Yeah, it's the only way to be. Even if things go crazy, it's great show. James has been dishing out the gravy. Yes, he has a very wide aperture, guys, and he's all about like programming. His history is computer programming, electronics, energy, electricity. So just understand that. And it's beautiful gravy. He's very funny. But if you're easily offended and you don't have enough prana to handle it, don't go there. It's for legend. Or just go and feel the burn. Feel it. Feel the sting. And he has another good saying. He says, prune my lips. Because he says wrong shit all the time, just like all of us. But he's not going to... Like, it's up to you to prune his lip. I just got here, so I can't wait to see the whole stream. Thanks, Owen. Oh, you're going to love it. Medieval history is my favorite, and unauthorized displays it very well. Awesome. Yeah, James Crew is one of my faves. Awesome. Can't wait for Mountain Bear to animate Baron Karen and Blackbirder. Blackbird watching in next to a Baron Karen. Baron Karen wants to start a race war. She's either an actor or just a filthy, filthy, dirty little grabbler whore. Grabbler whore. Into the night of a materialistic night. We need to get BB on Norm MacDonald's podcast this fall. Nope. I don't leave Ursa Manor really unless I'm going to get hay or my mail. Take it easy, Bears. Have a great day. Baron Karen is beyond hilarious. Yes. Kai and Tenoso came up with Baron Karen. I love James, great guy. I can use the word love. I'm very fond of him. Baron Karen with the gay black bird watcher can be a new cartoon. I agree. Going to re-watching. Was it nice? How's the garden coming along? I did a full preview of it in the beginning. By the way, guys, we can do some non-subscriber chats more often now. I think we've really scared off a lot of the Gamma Grabblers. Like right now, the non-subscribers are talking like adults, and I really appreciate that. Like all the non-subscribers are not acting like little kids on PCP scribbling on their face with a crayon. The dude was wearing a helmet. Oh, I know. I got 2 more minutes. Yeah, definitely. Dude, it doesn't feel like the guys that aren't subscribers are actually talking normally. She was definitely puppy choker. I don't even know if it was real. It doesn't matter. I just know that there are no blackbird watchers. Blackbird watcher in the dead of night, choking her dog and grabble. Appreciate you. Yeah. Blackbird watchers. What's next? Guys, I did some deep diving on the Blackbird Watcher. They have the same last name. I think it's probably nonsense or not. I don't know. And don't think that it's like, oh, dude, it's fake news. You don't even know how fake news works. They editorialize. They get things that really happen and they twist it. But he was a Harvard grad black guy wearing a helmet. He's gay. He's a full-blown homosexual, and he bird watches. I mean, it's so intriguing to me. There is no bike thief bird watchers, and only an autist would wear a helmet watching birds. Dude, if you lock people up in a city for 3 months, they act really weird. If anybody has ever been to prison, people coming out of the hole, like people coming out of solitary, act very weird. If you put someone in solitary for 3 months, they're gonna wear a helmet, get a lisp, and watch a bird. Like, solitary confinement does weird things to people's minds. We're about to start seeing a lot of viral videos coming out of LA and New York and stuff that are very weird. It feels nice to write again, thanks. Good to see you, Tatted Bear. I can open up the chat more for people, but you have to also... Hang on. That stream was like a storm in the desert. Did you enjoy it? All right. It's been my time. I got to go. If you'd like to support the chat, P.O. Box 727, Gig Harbor, Washington, 98335. I will read mail tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Unauthorized.tv. Now I'm going to go ride my bike and hang out with the alpacas. Be fruitful, multiply, don't be fruity and blow a guy. And thank you again, James True, for the excellent simmering and ladling of gravy on this fine afternoon. Goodbye, everybody.